Hello everybody, welcome back to an introduction to ArcheAge Online. Now, this video we're going to go over some pretty cool stuff that's kind of a lot of fun on how you get around in the world. So, to do that though, given that we've kind of got a limited number of vehicles of choice, we're not going to use this character. We're gonna use this one. Say hello to Pio. This is my main character. She's level 34 and she's got a lot more options when it comes to traveling. And the first one I will show you right now. Here we are on board one of the land ferries. These things move between 2 points on the map, usually designated by these little skateboard-looking icons. No, they don't go there, but this will go off somewhere else. This one goes off towards Mahadebi, where we're bound to encounter an airship. And we'll show you what that's like in a minute. But generally speaking, if you're riding around on one of these ferries, it's pretty much the fastest way between 2 points, especially if you're doing any trade runs. So right now we are on the road between Mahadebi and Song Road. You can see off in the distance there is the city of Mahadebi. There's elephants over there. Unfortunately, given the shape of these things, they're not exactly the greatest for having a frontal view. You know. To remedy that, though, I can actually just, like, run and jump up here. So here we are at Mahadebi, and here is our bus stop. Now, at each of these stops, you're going to see what looks like a little telescope. And if you use this, it will show this little ping on the map. And you can see, here is the ferry that we just got off of. And we have another ferry coming up behind us here. So this one's going to go off this way, and the other one is going to come up here, and then head off towards, I believe, the start of the journey towards the port city. So we should see one coming up this way here. Oh, I see it. Tiger Spine Mountains. So with the ferries, you can see the name of it here as well as where it's going. So this one should be Tiger Spine Mountains to Mahadebi, and vice versa. It'll just keep alternating between those 2 points. Unfortunately, that means sometimes you may be waiting a while to get to your next leg of the journey, but yeah, it's just kind of how travel works in this game. So this right here is an airship platform, and we will go up there and see if we can't get ourselves on an airship. Airships are basically the same as the ferries. You don't have to pay anything to hop onto them, but they only alternate between 2 points. Let's see. Let's see, here goes those ferries. Still on their way. Again, though, since they only go between 2 points, it can take a while for them to come and go. So, what we're going to do here is I'm going to skip ahead in the video a little bit while waiting for this airship to come pick me up. Okay, so here we are, and I can see there is an airship on its way from Hawk Hunt. So we should be able to see that coming towards us really soon here. Oh, there it is right there. Airships are, as far as I know, the fastest way to travel in the entire game, other than, of course, a direct teleport. They're also quite noisy. You can hear them overhead, as you may have noticed in my mount video before. So here we go. You just run up onto it. I was waiting for probably almost a good 10 minutes for this to show up, so... Oh, there we go. Ah, camera is a little too close to the engine. And it apparently doesn't mind just plowing through trees and stuff, because that's cool. You do get some lovely landscape views of the area while you are riding on the airships. Almost anywhere you go is pretty lovingly detailed. You see just over on the other side of the mountains there is a bit of a desert. That's actually, or at least pretty close to the Hariharan starting area. Just over in there somewhere. So the area that we are going to is called Hawk Hunt. It is over here. And we are coming from Mahadebi, which is over here. So we'd have to do quite a bit of jumping from cart to cart to get to Hawk Hunt. I think it's at least 3, if not 4, different land ferries we'd have to take to get to the same spot. Whereas here, we just take one, and it goes straight from Mahadebi to Hawk Hunt. And it's going to put us right here. Or at least, it would, if I weren't planning on showing off my glider. Gliders you get not too far into the game. As a matter of fact, if you're playing with the Hariharans, you will get the glider right in this area. There's some quests that you do. This is a big old mine here. There's rail carts to go up and down there. But once you get up into this area, you'll actually get the quest and get your glider. Now, my glider has been slightly upgraded. I believe I've got the 2nd tier glider as opposed to the starter. And, yeah, here we go. So, goodbye, airship. For some reason, you fly on top of the gliders, which is kind of crazy, but arrow keys and WASD allow you to move. So you've got your left, right, as well as pushing down will pull you back. This slows you down, but it also slows down the speed at which you are descending. And then forward speeds you up, but increases the speed at which you descend. Something that's also very important, and may actually end up killing me here, is this. Gliders can only be used for up to 3 minutes at a time. After the 3-minute timer is up, your character will simply stick it back in their backpack, regardless of whether you're in midair or not. So I've died a few times from forgetting that and having just stuck it back in my backpack, and plummeted to my death because I was, you know, maybe about this high off the ground. So, very important. When you get your starter glider, it's not going to be super fast, and it does descend rather rapidly. Upgraded models of the gliders will descend slower, as well as they are faster, so they'll travel further distances. They also can get little abilities. The starter ones will not have an ability, but I've got this here, which, that's all it does, is it just pops you up into the air a little bit higher, but sometimes that's all you need. How are we doing on my timer here? 1 minute left. Meaning I should probably start looking for a place to go down, or at least limit my fall damage. I will die from here. So let's aim for that patch of grass over there. Hopefully we can get there in time. Further upgraded gliders have unique abilities that they can get, including jumping, like so, or some of them can actually drop bombs and things on enemies from midair. Okay, we should be alright. If you're going really, really fast and you hit the ground, you can actually bounce off, like so. But, there you go, landed, and we had just a bit of time left. Gliders have a pretty quick cooldown, so it's not going to be very long before you can just pop it back out again. Unfortunately, though, no, you cannot pop out a glider while you are plummeting to your death. You do need to be jumping from, or at least starting from, a solid point. Thank you for flying Ninja's Air Tours. Our tour for today is about to end. Again, we want to thank everyone for riding with us and keep their complimentary bag of peanuts. Mind the water, and hopefully you'll dry off quickly. Ow, that actually hurt me a lot more than I was expecting it to. So, falling into water doesn't completely negate fall damage, but it was enough that I survived. What a good place to check out mounts. And by that I mean what a terrible place to check out mounts. So this is Pio, my main, as I mentioned before, and she's got a variety of different mounts that my elf character does not have. Okay, he just starts in the water. This is the Snow Lion. It's the mount that you get as the fair. And it's pretty quick. Not the greatest at swimming, though. They're actually quite pitifully slow. So, enough with that. Let's see, I do not happen to be carrying my dinghy with me, so we'll see about my donkey. Donkeys, amazingly enough, are quite a bit faster. I mean, look at this thing, it's just rocketing through the water. In a, relative sense. So the donkey is your trade mount. You will use this when you are doing trade runs. It's much, much faster to use a donkey for trade runs than it is to use any of the other mounts. In fact, putting on a... using a trade pack and having that on your back and then using a regular mount, you're actually slower than if you just walked. So the donkey is the burden carrier, so you can go quite a bit faster than walking, even with a trade pack on a donkey. However, by itself, normally, it is slower than the other mounts. Next up is my not often used Tare, which you can see there's others right here. This is my Tare. Unlike these guys, I've got armor on mine. The Tare have the ability to use melee combat while you're on the back of them. They can also jump backwards and launch you forward, which is kind of a strange ability, but it all works out. So this is the Tare. It is the racial mount for the Hariharans. So that is those. That's mounts. And we've seen the gliders, we've seen the airships, we've seen the land ferries. A couple of other things that are kind of important to go over for traveling is, for starters, your home teleport. I've kind of gotten far away from where I'm actually doing questing and things like that, so I might want to use my home teleport to get back. Okay. And here we are back in the area where I was questing. So, let's head over to the sea, and we will see what we can see. Ah, ha, ha. Okay. We'll head over to the ocean and take a look at the ships and see how those work. So here we are at one of the lovely beaches on the eastern continent, and we are going to pull out my ship. To do this, you just use the item, much like your mounts. So I will right-click on this ship, and I have the adventurer's ship. I named it the Trident. The sails that you see up there can be customized, much like those custom pictures that you can put up on those white frames. And welcome aboard. So as I mentioned before in my Miracle Island video, I do not have the model with the harpoon on the front. I've got the one with the cannon. It also comes with this weird gun thing, which I don't know quite how that works. I think it's for ship-to-ship combat. And this comes standard with 2 oxygen tanks. Now there are some limitations on these tanks. As you can see, it's got a timer there. It's got a little over 4 minutes left on it. The tanks take 5 minutes to spawn and or respawn. So it's going to be 4 minutes before I can use that tank to dive underwater. And once I've used it, it will take another 5 minutes for it to respawn. However, in that time, I can run over to the other side and use that. But if you're out with a couple buddies, you might want to have 2 people down with the tanks and 1 person on the ship still. While you are down and diving, your ship is just kind of sitting up above land, or sorry, above the water level, and it is kind of vulnerable. So you can hop in and unsummon it after you've hopped into the water, but it's not necessarily the greatest thing because you've got nothing to return to. And for those of you that are interested, this is actually the prison island over here. Players who are naughty and do all kinds of bad things and get caught are going to be sent here. You can actually escape from that, swim across the channel, and oh, there's a rock I'm heading straight for there, and get to freedom. Another thing is, I believe actually we are floating right above a undersea gardening area. Much like the player housing areas and stuff, there are some underwater player land plots. So let's see, I've still got some time on that tank, but I'll grab my diving gear. I've got these flippers. And my helmet. Where is my... That's my regular helmet. Where's my diving helmet? Ah, there it is. So, now I'm much better equipped to go take a look down here. And yep, sure enough, this is a underwater farming area. There's certain crops and things that you can only farm under the water. A good thing to know is that ships are all the same level. Even though my character is only level 34, my ship is level 50. So if I start getting fired on by enemy players or anything like that, I don't have to worry too much, as they're not going to just one-shot me because of level differences and things. And in fact, I can fight back. I do have a cannon. To use the cannon, you have to have cannonballs, which you craft yourself, or you can, of course, buy them from the auction. Look at all of this lovely scenery. I really like this area in particular. It reminds me a lot of Kyoto in Japan, if you've ever been there. Where'd they go? Oh, there they are. There are creatures and stuff out in the sea, including a big, huge, like, Kraken boss and things that, frankly, you don't want to tangle with. So you do have to be a bit wary. And of course, once you get out more into the open water, this whole area is just one big fight. But all through here between the two continents as well. I mean, this is actually an ocean. It takes quite a bit of time to cross, but you could encounter enemy ships and things, and often will. There's a lot of wrecks and treasures to be found down in there, and it's all open PvP, so generally speaking, people don't hesitate to engage you. So, here we are, well, full circle for me. And I can just unsummon my ship, and it will just disappear into a little portal. Well, guys, that's about it for the mounted travel, as well as other various ways of getting around. And so that's going to be it for this video. Again, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please let me know in the comments below, or give me any suggestions and things that you'd like. And we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. See if I can make it. I don't know if I'll be able to set her down on that edge. Nah, I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna be so close. Oh, bad. Ow. Alright, this is the land ferry. Ah, crap.